Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, what I assume to be the new, younger, generational gamers, or gamers that never played the Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 2, are complaining about Mr. X and Resident Evil 2 Remake overall being too difficult, and how hard it is to down zombies, and how many bullets it take. Now, I think the complaints are just exposing and clearly showing the gap between older gamers and some of the newer gamers. It shows what I think is the gap in capability to handle a difficult challenge. And I don't even feel like it's right to say a difficult challenge, because Mr. X is not difficult. Dealing with Mr. X is not difficult. Resident Evil 2, whether you consider the original or the remake as a game, is not hard. It's not a challenge. I beat the game in, I think it was 7 hours and, well, Leon's campaign. 7 hours and 40 minutes, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, because the game, after you beat each path, it tells you, you know, your time and everything like that. I wish it would tell you how many zombies you actually killed. I estimated that I killed about 10 zombies or less in my Leon path, because it's not difficult, right? I think a lot of these new gamers are just so used to solving every one of their problems by shooting their way out. And if you are bothered by how Resident Evil 2 plays, then I can't imagine how these people would deal with Outlast, where you literally have no weapons and the only thing you can do is run. Because now they're calling Resident Evil 2 a running simulator, because they have to run away from Mr. X. For anybody who doesn't know, Mr. X is invincible up to a certain point in the game. I'm not going to spoil it, obviously. Well, some of you probably seen the videos or whatever. But Mr. X exists for a reason. He exists to have that constant tension, that constant, you know, suspense, that constant feeling that you are never safe, that you are always on the edge. The sound effects and the sound quality and the way the audio works in Resident Evil 2 is there for a reason. It's there to always have a sense of suspense, a sense that you are never really safe. That's what survival is. See, and even though I'm a fan of Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, I hated 6, one of the worst games ever made, Resident Evil 7, I liked all the latter games, right? But those games weren't survival games, right? Because you always had enough bullets, even like in 4, 5, and 7 a little less. But even in those games, if you tried to take out every enemy, the game provided you with just enough ammo to do that. Well, actually more than just enough ammo to do those things, right? But those games weren't really necessarily survival. So now that these gamers get introduced to a real survival game where you have a lack of resources and you can't shoot your way through every scenario to solve your problems, now they have trouble handling it. When the simple solution in Resident Evil 2 Remake is to just stun and run. You shoot a zombie in the head, you move past them. Or you pretty much gotta learn how to maneuver around the enemies in general. It doesn't take long, and it's not hard to understand the zombie behavior in Resident Evil 2. It's actually very simple. You run near a zombie, they lunge towards you. So simply all you have to do is run towards an enemy, back off real quick, and they'll lunge in the direction. And then so you go around them. Something as simple as this really exposes a lot of people complaining about this game. Because it's not like you have to do a deep case study to understand the enemy and the zombie behavior in Resident Evil. Once again, it's just that these gamers are so used to the simple solution of, you have an issue, shoot him in the head, shoot through all your problems, shoot, shoot, shoot. That's your issue. Mr. X is not a problem. Mr. X's purpose is very well executed in that game to make you feel uneasy, to make the game feel creepy. Like I said, to always make you be on edge. accomplishes exactly what his goal is. If he was just another enemy you could just take down, simply shoot, it wouldn't be that much fun. It wouldn't really feel like survival. Mr. X is there to make you feel weak, defenseless, and just helpless, which is what you need in a real survival game. You need to feel helpless and just continually uneasy. But these gamers, I guess, are just not used to that concept. They're used to feeling all powerful, which is not what this game sets out to make you feel. So I just think, like I said, I hate to sound like, you know, the OG, you know, that guy, the back in my day type of gamer. But listen, I'm sorry. If this is bothering these gamers, like I said on Twitter, they would have absolutely quit gaming back in the day. All of you would have absolutely, well, if you actually born in that generation to play those games, I think it would have made you to a more adaptable and a gamer that is more capable of dealing with something as simple as this. And some people are going as far as even calling it a bad game or a bad gameplay mechanic because something is chasing you that you can't take down. No, that's not a bad game. That's a great addition to a game that has survival dimensions. You just can't handle the concept of it, and it's just not something you're probably used to. So that's my thoughts on it. To go as far as to say it's a bad game or Mr. X is a bad concept, you honestly sound foolish, and you honestly sound like an idiot, and you're being exposed by a game that's in fact actually very easy. So let me know what y'all think about all this and all these gamers complaining that the game is too hard. Mr. X is a bad you know, mechanic and dimension to a survival game, and just all these complaints. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out of here. Peace.